when it looks at your ng if star ng if, right, Angular compiler is going to convert it into this code. Can you see this thing? Then it translates the template attribute into the ng template element and wrapped around the element something like this. Right, means if you want to have our code to be getting executed, right, if you want to have our code to be getting executed, that would be I would be having what you can say is visible over here, right, ng if property binding is visible, then execute this, and here I can say, here you can say desugared version of ng, say star ng if, desugared version of star ng if. See here, can you see this is a desugared version of star ng if. So instead of star ng if, instead of this star ng if, here you didn't use the star ng if. Instead of you have used Angular's template is a template tag, remember that. So this is the Angular's template tag, right? To that template tag they have one input binding which is nothing but what you can say ng if, and to that ng if you are passing the boolean, right, and if it is true then it is going to this block. So whenever it looks at this thing, right, ng if, it converts, Angular compiler converts it into the template like this, right. So they have said something about the template tag in the HTML5. See, template tag in the HTML5, what they said, right, what they have said about the template tag. See, the HTML template element is a mechanism for holding a client side content that is not to be rendered when page is loaded, but may subsequently be instantiated during the runtime by using JavaScript. Content of the template tag is not going to get loaded when the page is going to get loaded, but into the template tag you can inject the data by using JS at the runtime. That is the intention of the template tag, and Angular 2 team has written their own template tag, which is nothing but the ng template, which is the modified version of the template. So here you can use template as well. Let me check what happens if I use directly template. I suppose it should work, right, but because of this it might give you the problem, because template tag is not having this property binding, right. Let us check. See, that would be giving you problem. So instead of template you can use ng template. Huh? Yes. Oh yes, that's working, right. So template, or either template or the ng template, but on the stack they have suggested go with the ng template, right. Go with this, do not go with the native template tag, but use Angular's template, ng template, which is a modified version of your template tag. With asterisk, because you don't need to write this much code. If you use without asterisk you need to write this much code. Efficiency wise both are same, but proficiency wise this is very good. So just a single line code you are writing, that's it. Yes, here I suppose that is not possible, else can be possible only with the asterisk. Huh, asterisk, but most of the time every structural directive you can use with the asterisk. That's what they meant for, right? Otherwise this is a plain property binding, nothing fancy in this. This is a plain property binding, right? Sugaring just to reduce the syntax, reduce this much syntax to one line star ng if. That's the intention. It is not like that any new fancy algorithm they have running internally. They are just doing same thing over here, and that's what they have told on the documentation. You may like to read it afterwards. Right. Okay. Now ng template. So there is a ng switch case is also there, right? There is one more directive, ng switch case. We'll see, and after that we'll see how to create my own structural directive. I want to create my own structural directive. That is also possible. We'll see, right? But in the next tutorial I'm going to cover ng switch case. Okay.